Okay, I think we're live. Okay. Oh, yeah, sign in, great. I guess it's that. No, it's not that. Sure why that's not working. We are live, right? Let's see. Streaming. Yep. Sure why it's so fuzzy. It's weird. I don't know. Don't make the rules, so who cares? Let's see here, go here. See what we got. What's Fun Strat saying?
It's fallen more than 50% from its October peak, briefly hitting a low of $60,000 on Friday. It finished the week with a sharp rebound to $70,000, but all told, Bitcoin is down 30% over the past year, erasing all of its gains since Trump's re-election. All right, here to help us understand what's happening to Bitcoin right now, we are speaking with Tom Lee, Chief Investment Officer of Fundstrat Capital. Tom, thanks for joining us on Property Markets.
Great to see you.
Great to see you. So, Bitcoin is seeing one of its largest crashes in a few years. Hit $60,000, then it came back up. Let's just start with your kind of high level thoughts on what's happening right now.
Well, Bitcoin has been in a drawdown really since October 10th. And we know that on October 10th, there was a price shock then that led to one of the largest ever deleveraging events. And so the industry has been crippled since because balance sheets have shrunk. About a third of the industry's market makers went away, and there was a price shock then that led to one of the largest ever deleveraging events. Things happened earlier this year that sort of triggered another cascade of not necessarily deleveraging shock, but essentially what looks like capitulation. The first is that in January, and that triggered another cascade of liquidations because you had another price shock that happened over a weekend. And as we know, liquid markets will sell what they can over a weekend ahead of a broader market opening, and that was crypto. The second is that as markets became very leery about geopolitical tension, and then of course dollar weakness, and but then it got magnified that we had a potentially new Fed chair coming in that looked that he could be quite hawkish. I think that led to a real rethink about how people want to be positioned. And as you know, gold suddenly surged. And that gold surge became quite expensive for investors because gold has about a $30 trillion network value now. Gold surged almost 20% in 2 days. That was a $6 trillion swing for gold. Well, the entire crypto market is about $2 trillion. So gold made a very large volatile move over a weekend, which again could have triggered another set of margin calls for anyone short, especially gold and silver. And then crypto, of course, was really the source of funds. So I think in many ways, crypto still hasn't recovered from October 10th. And then we had what I consider some macro shocks that got people really interested in gold, but there's so much gold held that you had to sell something else to actually own your gold.
Doesn't this call the fundamental value of Bitcoin into question? Because a lot of the things you described there, this geopolitical uncertainty because of the Greenland announcement, issues of inflation, a hedge against instability at large. These are the kinds of things that Bitcoin is supposed to be.
I think he's
the hedge against. It's supposed to be the safe haven against these forces.
5 or 6 months.
And so isn't this kind of the market telling us actually Bitcoin isn't the new gold, actually gold is the new gold?
Yeah. That's a great question. I mean, that has been the existential head scratching, because a lot of people in crypto say, hey, isn't Bitcoin supposed to track gold if you have geopolitical tension or central bank easing,
almost 1%.
or we're talking about dollar debasement? But there is one scenario where gold will do well, but crypto will do poorly, okay? And that's if the entire currency system itself is questioned.
Wow,
meaning,
we did.
If there is a point where we say, we're so concerned about chaos
something's not right,
that I don't care about the dollar. I don't even want to own anything that's dollar denominated, and especially if it's a digital dollar, right? Because Bitcoin is digital money. In that scenario, gold would do well, but stocks and crypto would go down. So I think in some ways, the market became convinced itself of the idea that, gold's going up so much because we could be facing a much more calamitous scenario. And I think part of that has to do with Warsh was kind of a little bit of a shock to markets. So absolutely correct. But the second thing to keep in mind, so that's one scenario where crypto would do badly, stocks do badly, but gold as well. But the other thing to keep in mind is that if you look at rolling 3-year history, Bitcoin is still positive and outperforming inflation, which means Bitcoin is still actually a good store of value. The second thing to keep in mind, so that's if we look back at the history of gold, I think it's about 15% of the time, gold's had a negative rolling 3-year return. So in some ways,
4-year trends and all that,
both are stores of value, but they're just going to be working at different times.
You've also been an investor in Ethereum, which has also gotten hit recently. What are your views on Ethereum at this point and its relationship with what's happened to Bitcoin?
Well, yeah, Ethereum has really been caught up in the crypto sell-off because it is the second largest crypto. So if anyone is trying to liquidate their crypto holdings, and there has been capitulation, people saying, I'm really done with crypto entirely. So they're going to sell to Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think we're in that phase. The difference, I think, is that Ethereum actually does have measurable activity that we can look at. We can look at wallets,
I'm still buying
and created transactions done on the Ethereum network, or even the amount of assets created on the blockchain, which is called real-world assets, or total value locked. Those have actually all been rising and actually going up parabolically.
We're going to give up the whole
because
day's
Ethereum
game
is
as well.
benefiting from Wall Street's focus on
Did the
tokenization.
fear spike a little bit?
Tokenization is the idea that Wall Street wants to redo parts of its business on a public blockchain because it actually speeds up the product and it reduces delays. It's what they call finality. And so Ethereum's really benefited from that. We know, just for instance, this year alone, BlackRock has announced
the VIX
its further support of creating a common blockchain. We know that the NYSE is tokenizing its assets, and they are working with public blockchains to implement that.
Nothing to sneeze at.
And we know Fidelity launched its own investment fund on the Ethereum blockchain. So I think there's a lot of
when was the last highest?
Strangely, and maybe this is going to bother some original crypto people, but Wall Street is really embracing Ethereum.
It sounds like your view on the two largest cryptocurrencies, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum, you're more optimistic about because of the fact that there is this tokenization effect happening on Wall Street, and we'll see how that plays out. You sound less bullish, less optimistic about Bitcoin right now. It sounds like you agree with me. At least my view of what's happening, that Bitcoin needs to be seen by the investment world as a hedge against uncertainty in some capacity. The dollar debasement would be an example. And it seems that the investment world is deciding kind of slowly but surely, actually, maybe that's not what it is to us. When things get really difficult, we actually prefer gold instead. Is that the correct characterization? Would it be correct to say you're maybe more bullish on Ethereum and you're less bullish at this point on Bitcoin?
I think it is correct to say that Bitcoin, everything I've described, gives Bitcoin a narrative problem, because people are going to say, oh, well, in the last year, it hasn't been a great store value. It didn't save me when geopolitical uncertainty rose.
I think it's my
it didn't save me when we got uncertain about this new Fed. And of course, in the back of people's minds is this idea quantum risk are growing for Bitcoin. So it does raise that narrative question. But the one thing that we do know now is that both Bitcoin and Ethereum have had a huge drawdown. Ethereum's fallen 60%.
32 gigs.
That's the 8th time in 8 years. So they're both super volatile assets. It's a little bit like when someone says, I want to own Mag 7. So let's say someone says, I have geopolitical uncertainty, and this time gold really worked. And, there's times when someone's buying Mag 7 and they want to buy AI, only 3 of the 7 names are working. I do think we just have to be mindful that 2026 hasn't played out yet. So if Bitcoin
that's the way to put it. Hasn't played out.
Then it's going to recover its narrative.
What's up, nerd? Welcome.
But similarly, we think Ethereum is really tracking past decline. So we think it's going to recover strongly. But you're absolutely right. In this battle, gold has won Bitcoin's lost 0 in 2026.
All right. Tom Lee, Chief Investment Officer of Fundstrat Capital. Tom, we always love having you. Thanks for your time.
Listen to the old Tom Lee speak for a bit. See what he's going to say.
Support for the show comes from Indeed. Hiring isn't just about finding someone willing to take the job. It's about connecting.
I want to see if I can get back into CNBC, see what the talking heads are saying, but that was just old Tom Lee for a minute. It has to be better. I dropped it way down. You're telling me lies. Tell me fibs. This is Benjamin Cohen, Matt. He's the best one for where Bitcoin's at and where crypto is currently at. So yeah, in a bear market with the bear market blues. I wonder if we're going to get that potential confrontation with Iran, because that's, I think, why the VIX is spiked today. And then some decent data maybe. He was just saying the same old thing really about 2026 hasn't really started yet, and gold and Bitcoin, Ethereum, gold has run, Bitcoin will run eventually. Just the same old jargon like he's pushing his cryptos that we're all bag holding. So Tuesday the 27th data, Wednesday 18th. Did we get anything good today? Refresh. It's good to see the mortgage rates coming down, because a lot of Americans need refinance like myself, with a lot of money tied up in mortgages. A lot of young folks that have a house they want to refinance or sell and move and get a better rate, but don't want to lose their 3% or their 2.5% interest rate for a higher 6 or 7% interest rate, which is insane. And you can't bring them with you, which is dumb, but it's good to see it going down. It needs to be well below 5 though to really encourage people to sell, to move. But we'll see how that works out. Was there any negative data? Building permits. Fed Bowman speech. FOMC minutes came out at 2 o'clock. Mine wasn't that big, was it? Not really. I think it's actually just the war talk. Potential war with Iran is spooking the marketplace, making people a little bit scared. Let's refresh this. The heck CNBC not playing for? You're supposed to play. It's in my ads. Pause on this site. Dan Ives was good. I want to hear Dan. He was really good.
Analyst Dan Ives, he joins us now from Wedbush with what to expect this evening and what's been taking place in that group. It's good to see you.
Great to see you.
So why has cyber been swept up in everything that's been going on?
Yeah, I think part of it is just this software, right? I mean, the view is that can cyber be disintermediated by some of these tools, whether it's Anthropic,
good old Dan Ives.
really the startup
Everyone loves
tools that are
Dan.
coming from an AI perspective.
Keeps
To my
pushing up
point
against that resistance,
is,
looks
look,
poised to
coming
break
into this
through it.
year, all of
And
our
then, you
checks
look
are showing
below the
cybersecurity should actually see anywhere between 300 and 500 bits
surface,
acceleration.
restaurants.
I think some of that is because as you see the AI use cases deployed, you look at Palo Alto.
I'm
They
not
don't
getting any
require
video. Why
CyberArk.
is
It's not
CNBC
for
not working?
AI.
Give me the video.
CrowdStrike, all the stuff Georgia and team are doing. I think this is one. I get it's a guilty till proven innocent, but cybersecurity, this is going to be. I think it's a moment that inflects, and ultimately it's going to be a huge
Cybersecurity. So
growth
what's Palo Alto
area
at?
for the sector that I don't think is being factored in here. Right now it's being viewed as a headwind, but tonight it's very important to hear from Nikesh. He has a great perch.
I mean, part of me wants to say, well, how can you have checks on things
I mean, it's
that we don't
down,
really know
wow,
what we're checking for
7%.
yet?
So
Like, we don't know what these other tools are
that's
going to
interesting. You
do
would
and
claim
how
that
they're
we
going
might
to
see a bit of a
disintermediate
bounce.
certain industries until we actually see it.
These
I
are
think
all on my
that
list, by the
even
way.
get more
The
granular. Typically
IGV,
going
Matt.
into an IT budget cycle,
This is the one
let's
I
say
bought a little
about
bit of.
5 to 8%
IGV.
of maybe that budget is
I'm
what
not
I
sure
would
what
call
your equivalent is. It's the
cybersecurity.
Fidelity iShares
Now
Expanded
what's
Tech
happening,
Software
because
ETF
so many
includes a
more of
bunch
these
of really
comprehensive solutions,
good companies,
AI
and it's
platforms
down
end-to-end,
really
I'd say
well. I
about
think it's a
70%
really good,
of IT budgets
really
have an
good
AI,
index play for the
sort of
next
angle.
1 to 2 years.
Cybersecurity is now not
It
5
could
to
go down
8%.
further.
You
Don't
could
care if it
argue
goes down further. I'll
from
buy
everything
some
we're
more.
seeing, 20-25%
But it's grinding
of
right
now the
there on
potential
that
budgets that they
weekly
could go after.
200
So when I
moving
look at
average.
Palo Alto,
And let's look at
CrowdStrike,
your
Zscaler,
Galaxy real
like
quick.
Scott, I think this is one I know we've talked about a lot in software, but
Yeah,
cybersecurity I think
Galaxy
is
is
being
probably about to print
mispriced
a
as
blue diamond.
AI is a headwind, where
I'm
in
reading it
fact
correctly.
I think
Look
it
at all
actually is
that
going to
volume coming in to
change
buy.
the view of the sector
I
for
don't. I
years to
don't
come,
buy the
as well
narrative.
as
There was a
also this
record
really
amount of
huge
I think
catalyst for Nvidia.
retail
We've
came
looked
in to
at
buy
Palo
that
Alto
as well.
specifically, I think, on this very program and declared it, to
So
your words,
pick your
Cable
winners.
down, but
Buy IGV. Get
I mean, you still
broad-based
believe that, or
exposure
is in
and
some
ride that
respects
train
the
all the way
jury
back
still
up
out even for you?
to the
You wanna
promised
see what
land.
they
What would that
deliver
be?
tonight, 'cause the stock's had some upset in the past around earnings. It's not like this thing just goes straight up.
Say we get to like
no, look,
here.
there's 3 reasons why this is
46%
I view it as
return.
double
I mean,
tape
I'll
down
take
there
that every day of
because
the week. Give me
the
a 46%
CyberArk
return.
deal
I'll
will be viewed
chuck
as
several
the
grand
deal
in
that
there.
changes Palo Alto. I think what Nikesh did there, you're talking about 25 billion. I could argue is going to generate hundreds of billions in the future of market cap.
On the weekly chart.
Ascension, given what that
It's a
gives
big
them
green
a full
candle there
end-to-end
Monday
platform.
yesterday. Who was
2,
that?
if you look where they play, just like CrowdStrike, we are
The problem
now
is that we could
getting
keep
to an
going lower.
inflection
It's a
point
fallen
where
knife.
you are
If it
going to
breaks
start
through
to
that
see
weekly
AI.
there, that's
I
a
think
fallen knife. It's
25%
just
of
gonna.
deal flow ultimately will be positively influenced. That's not factored into
You
the
see
street
some
numbers,
resistance here
sending
maybe
them super negative, and that's why to me,
to 126. So
Palo
if it breaks
Alto,
that,
CrowdStrike,
it's
those
going
are
like
the ones that I view as just names that not even just in cybersecurity,
on
but
the daily.
overall
It's
tech
already
are 2 of the
effed.
top.
I
Like
mean, I mean this respectfully. I truly do. I feel like you're a defend first, ask questions second kind of an analyst, right? The companies have an upset, very quick to come out and defend the name, defend the price, defend your call, etc. You afraid you're missing something on any of this stuff?
And look, it's valid, Scott. What I would say is that, but that's all the work that we do in talking.
got 10 viewers in the old
resellers,
X there, which is
partners,
good.
All the checks, all the travel. It's the one that gives me the confidence.
Tell you, streaming is
where
crazy.
if
You're
there's
just
a
like
quarter
talking to
that we
yourself half the
miss, or
time too.
there's
It's
some nuance where the stock's down. The
I don't really
reason
care about
defend
because
is because all the work that goes into it. And
I'll
I
be
know
sitting
that
here
I
anyway. Look at
feel
this stuff.
based on
Might as
our
well talk to
thesis
somebody
and
or
what I've done
myself.
25 years.
Right, you gonna
I
work
could
yet?
defend
CNBC.
it despite maybe sort of a speed bump or tripping over the shoelace. That's why I think sometimes
We fee at 500.
especially on some of these names, you have to be able to see
What is
forest
that?
trees. That's all the work we do.
One of these wee guys, a little 2015 model, or what year is it? It's a nice little car, that a little European car, isn't it? It's very European, very British. That's nice. Good stuff. 2013 Fiat 500. Nice.
The reaction to that will be huge because
It's crazy. Is like CNBC is just not wanting to play the actual video feed. Come on, play video. Turds.
Which, yes, it's about to break. breakout on an
I'm getting audio but no
basis,
freaking video.
But if you put it next to the consumer staples,
annoying.
You actually see that it's really
The
underperformed.
2013 model.
And this has been the
$5,000 or $6,000 really.
bull market over the course of the last 3 years. The fact that discretionary has outperformed
Nice little car that is very
time you've had a headline about
European, very like
the equity market was arguing that you should
different. You won't really see that much over here in America.
So this ratio
Not a
is
very
still
common
in
car
an
here that
uptrend,
much.
But if it starts to bleed lower, making lower
Right, that's
highs and
CNBC's
lower
doing my head,
lows,
and let me close that. It's working on my other computer. That's just frustrating. CNBC. I wonder why it would do that. Why would it not want to play the video? Choose your broadcaster, Xfinity, of course. I don't know. Who else we got going on here? Pull up the old X feed real quick. Away and watch yourself. The Predator Badlands is a good film. I watched it, enjoyed it. I'll only be live for the next little bit, 15 minutes. So I wanted to test drive, make sure it's running again, and install a few things. So, but that stupid CNBC's not working. But enjoy your night. Bye. No, SAS is not dead. He's joking. X is broken. What's he saying now? It's official. The current world order is broken down in my parlance. We're in stage 6, part of the big cycle in which there's a great disorder arising from being in a period in which there are no rules. Might is right. And there's a clash of great powers. Stage 6 works as explained in detail in Chapter 6, the big cycle of external order and disorder in my book, Principles of Dealing with for the Changing. My gosh, my book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. If you can, I think it'd be worth your time to read. He didn't put the whole book, did he? No, it's just the quotes. Yeah, he's just pushing, he's just grifting again. Full article. I've already bookmarked it, dude, and shared it. I'm not doing that again, son. I've already pushed it for you once. Dalio. I think he's partially right. I don't think it's going to be a huge issue for all of us. Is there a reason why it's only sharing trading views? Stuck? Is the stream stuck on trading view? No, there we go. We're back. I love the, prophets of doom and everyone's an expert. You didn't say thank you. Deserves a like. But I don't know. I don't think, Netflix down since summer of 05. I don't like Netflix. There's nothing on it I want to watch, so why would I want to buy that stock and hold it? I'd rather put that money somewhere else. I don't see the value in Netflix, to be honest. It's not going to be something that moves needle for me at all. Let's go back here real quick and we'll look at the indexes. Bitcoin, $66,000 on our indicators. We are seeing Galaxy, sure, updates. And you update, and then you update those indicators real quick and just see if that, there we go. But yeah, so here we go. On the Bitcoin, on the daily charts, our custom indicators by my brother Matthew are still showing that Bitcoin is definitely in a bear market. The daily had printed a little blue diamond there, but it's not confirmed really on the weekly. So that's where you want to be careful with the daily, that could flip red. It could also be a time to buy and scalp, but on the weekly there, you can see we're still very much in a negative territory, now entering into like the minus territory. So there's your neutral line there, 0. I mean, we're up to 50. We go back here to May of last year, where when we peaked would have been like here, but it already been losing like momentum, steaming down. It wasn't retail didn't show up, so that was part of the problem. There's the big one, got as high as like 90, which is crazy. But like, yeah, this is a piddly effort right here this year. And how low can we go? I mean, you might see a swing down like potentially there, minus 70. I think this is probably not low enough, I would think. Would potentially see another like wick down to this bottom, and that would put us over like, I would say maybe here. If it does play out that way, where would you see? Where would it be on the daily charts? There's September. I could see it chop sideways. You might get a counter rally and a dip. Yeah, it could be a low one around here somewhere in the 55 range. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that because I don't want to be buying that too early if we're not going to get that strength. Because Bitcoin is definitely in the, what's the word, the doldrums, hanging on by its teeth really. Any breaking news? S&P 500's almost flat in the day. Wall Street's down. Big tech, latest growth ideas. What's up today? S&P 500 gainers. You have Garmin. Garmin 9%. The heck? Who's buying Garmin? Palo Alto's down 7%. Crown Castle, Zebra Technologies down 4%. Constellation Energy is down almost 4%, 291. Go back to the 5-year chart on that guy real quick. Last October up to 383.90. These software companies, I mean, year to date, you're looking at huge returns if we get this right and we put money where it's going to be treated best. And I think, as much as I love AI and technology, I don't think it's going to take all of software's, winnings. ITV, let me talk about this again because I want to convince myself in what I'm doing. Let me pull it up. Who's it holding? Here we go. Microsoft, Palantir, Oracle, Salesforce, Palo Alto, and Adobe, and CrowdStrike, and Intuit. So a lot of really good, big, strong, major players in this particular one. ServiceNow as well. Yeah, so it's just a really, really good fund with a good exposure. And Microsoft's not going bust. They own the tablet industry. They own the computers primarily that all this is going to be like running on. So how the heck are they going to go bust? They can always pivot and partner, and they're already down so much. I don't see how they could really suffer that badly more. The upside is there, I think, more than the downside. Palantir is already grossly overvalued, so I don't know if I would touch Palantir for the long term. I think it just has so much more, I don't know, more problems perhaps where it can go to. It could have a nasty wick down or two. It already is down pretty bad. Did it give up the moving averages? I just want to look at the valuations real quick. P211, it's high. Yeah, I mean, it's just so expensive. Like, I get that it's an incredible company. I'm a huge fan of Palantir, but I'm not going to blindly throw money at something that could be a fallen knife for a while. So in the daily chart, Palantir has printed a little blue diamond there, a little rally, but it's given up these moving averages, so it's in trouble, and that's where our custom RSI indicator. I mean, you could try it right now. You could if you wanted to. give it a whirl, but surge, no, weak, no, zone below, and then trend is bear, and the dailies go weekly. Gosh. On the weekly chart, we're seeing a pretty huge rundown there that has not changed course since August the 25th. You got a little blue one there, but then this one really came in strong in December. So I don't think we're going to see that reverse anytime soon. 12 years on X. Is that real? Probably not. But yeah, I like it. I just don't think it's worth buying now because it could honestly, it could try this 100-day moving average and it could also try the 200-day moving average. I mean, what is it doing on the 50? Like it's giving up the 50, right? On the weekly, the 50 was there, 149, so it's giving that up. And now it's testing here in this little tiny bit of volume, which is nothing. So it could go down to 125, which it kind of did, really. Yeah, I suppose it did. It kind of tested that 125. Right there. Yeah, I like touched it and then it just bounced back up. And maybe it'll go back up to like 149, then feels that it's gonna drop. So I'm just not sure that's gonna be a safe play for capital.
Would do badly, stocks do badly, but gold.
Okay. What else we got? Looking at here real quick. Oh crap. Oh, I'll drop that. I need that. Come here, you. Yeah, old Robinhood getting a bit of Bitcoin love there today, which is this is interesting because Bitcoin's had a bad day. Hood was up and now it's down, which is like funny how it works, isn't it? Go back to the daily. I want to see the 1-day chart. 930 right there. So lovely bounce for Hood today, but just giving up everything, like huge run up then down. 74, so just bleeding out. Yeah. It's just funny how the game works, isn't it? It kind of is correlating with Bitcoin, which is sad to see, but Bitcoin likewise up and then down, lower. I might have to start my DCA back into Bitcoin. MSTR likewise 124. Is that a low of the year? That might be a new low. No, it's not. Sorry, it's 103 right there. Is their low? Back to past 5 days. Man, I feel sorry for anyone that bought this crap. Hoping the bottom was in. Bottom's not in, as you can see. It's going down. BM&R, everyone's baggled in this crap. Thanks to our best friend Tom Lee, and may he make us all loads of money. But yeah, it's sad to see this one so low. At least all my alerts are working. That's good. But X does come across, right? Doesn't it? I think it does. If I go here, testing, yeah, it does work. Okay, restreams looking good. It's fine. Test. Test. Not a lot of love for the cryptos today. Energy sector is not as bad. I know Bloom had a really good run midday. 130 up to 158, now down to 153. Very volatile little bugger. I kind of wish I'd have bought some here. Just missed it, which is annoying. And then it's just been chopping really since January 26th here. Not sure if it wants to go higher or not, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's even anywhere remotely accurate. Head and shoulders. I mean, one, it's not really clear. Nebius is giving up quite a bit of gains there. I know that was definitely high today. Yeah, on the daily chart, everything's just 104 down to 100. What's the Mag 7 look like? How are we looking for the old Mag 7? Why you're being so annoying. Trying to zoom in right there and see. Amazon 204, up 0.7%. Nvidia up 1%. Microsoft 0.5%. Give up gains. Tesla 411. Apple 263, which is nice. I've got covered calls. Apple did not want to get those get called away, so we're happy there. Meta 639. So this is not a strong market. This is a weak market because we've kind of had a, stronger day in quotes, but it's not stronger. 5-day chart. I mean, you can sort of see there. Wednesday, yay, let's go. Like, come on, we're getting a pump. Market's going higher, and then the market's like, nope, sorry, we're going to fade off and sell off into today, tomorrow, and Friday. And then America will probably bomb Iran. If you're not aware of what I'm talking about, let me just show you real quick. Now, whether this is true or not, like who knows what's going to happen, but America is quite clearly moving Air Force combat build-up into Europe and the Middle East. It's the biggest since the Gulf War, apparently. I'm not sure about that, but I know it was the biggest since Afghanistan, I think it was. Let's see what Grok says about this guy. Come on, Grok, fact check him. Okay, yeah. Large since 1999 stems from January 2020. The biggest USA military move since the Gulf War. I don't believe that, but let's fact check the guy and see what AI will say, because let's see if he's telling me the truth or not. So what she's thinking, another post here by Jesse kind of shows just the incredible amount of assets that have been moved that way. So it is a terrifying amount of ships, warships that are moving in on Iran's space. So price of oil typically can be the canary in the coal mine. So what does oil look like today? Crude oil, $63, $65, and it has probably gone up today. Yeah, so oil may be your canary, maybe your if oil goes like $70, that's in my opinion something that we need to like seriously look at, because it was there June of last year, back 5 years ago. When was the highest? 86. Had these really spikes, yeah. 2022, very high. It's crazy, yeah. No, does not appear to be the largest such build since 1994. Here's a breakdown. So this guy is a bit of a liar. 100 to 200 combat aircraft in the surge plus support planes. I mean, who knows what they're hiding, of course, right? Groups. I mean, the USS Abraham Lincoln and Gerald Ford is enough to terrify you, of course. Deterrence. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely big, but clearly not really as big as what it might be. What is going on here? Why are you lagging behind? As big as what it mute that. What is going on here? That's better. Okay. For some reason, I have my stream open to the side and it was lagging behind by like 10 minutes, which is crazy. How long have I been live for? That's better. Okay. Restream says I've been live for how long? The heck is it? I'm not sure. Who knows? Who the heck knows? So here we go. Check this out. Not the clearest there, unfortunately, but AirAsset, SETCOM, and EUCOM. Bet I said that wrong, but yeah, the ships as well is insane. Very bullish Anduril. So we'll keep an eye on that, guys. That could be a catalyst for tomorrow and Thursday. Yeah, Kevin Leary telling me all nuts. It's funny. And then Ray Dalio, of course. This is his, what do you call it? F-13. Right, or his current portfolio as of Q4 2025, 13F. I said F13. It's interesting to see how bullish he is on stocks and the USA and software companies. That's very interesting. The IVV, what is the IVV again? IVV is the Core S&P 500 Index Fund. Okay, so he's just buying that one, which is interesting. 10%, 10%. It's going to be his security blanket. Okay. So yeah, that's where we are, guys. We're keeping an eye on it. We're going to monitor the situation and make sure we know exactly what's going on. Have we missed anything else that's important? This guy's posted about ons, I think, 12 times per day. He must have about 1 million shares. He must have so many shares. Like Oscar builds something glorious. Yeah, I mean, I do like Oscar quite a bit. I have some shares. See the charts. Profit margins are good. Oscar Health revenue and net income. Yeah, revenue is really good, of course, growing nicely. Cash to debt, total debt, 430 million versus cash, 2.8 billion. But the one thing here about this is like they're always going to have cash because they're an insurance company, right? They have to have cash. Like they need cash. So I would expect them to have a large amount of cash. They can't really use it for investments. But I like them. I hold my shares. Sorry, so tired. 63% undervalued. Intrinsic value is $22. Current price $13.17. DCF model. Bill and value snapshot. CAGR 10%. Interesting. Yeah, I like them. I'm holding my shares and I wouldn't mind buying more. This guy got like a 10 million impressions. Well done, sir. Last year's 500 gained 6, but if you missed the best 10 days, that dropped to minus 9.5% since 90 stocks have gained every year. We missed the 10 best days each year goes down. Yeah, that's why you have to just stay invested. I'm gonna save that. That's a really good one. Different years. Yearly return, missed the 10 best days, you lost. We're gonna save that image. That's a good one. 10 best days. This is why you have to just keep yourself invested in the broader market. Yearly return 7.7%. Missed 10 best days. Wow, look at that drop. If you missed those best days, like crazy losses in terms of where you could have been. Is now doomed to be disrupted by AI. No, it's not. I just don't see it. The cash they have, the growth they're doing, the integration they have. I mean, AI and OpenBot may help them evolve and take a little bit of their business, but they're going to evolve and offer more solutions. And I can't see it. I think they're getting scared. It may be a buy for later. And then Zeta, what are they saying? Let's see, drives 60% return on investment for clients, trades at 17 consecutive quarters of beat and raise, which is because they sandbag it. Yep, I've got shares and I'm holding mine too. Yeah, a lot of bag holding going on here. New situation model, you guys. Oh, I love it. It's fun. That's hilarious. I'm monitoring the situation. Bunch of degens, man. Bunch of people just killing it. Right, I'm at the end of there, guys. But things are looking good. Happy with where we are. Appreciate all 12 people who may have joined. 12 viewers is better than no viewers, I suppose, right? But yeah, we'll see how it goes. President Trump, Black History Month. He knows what he said there. It'd be crazy. It's clear the feed does not, algorithm is not like me though. I feel like every time I go to tweet, I just get distracted with my kids and stuff. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. Not seeing other major news. We're just gonna trade sideways into the close. It's going to be a bit of a negative finish today after the market was doing pretty well. We're just gonna have a quiet finish, it looks like. VIX is dropping, which is, I guess, good to see. That rally it had there is dropping. Let me just turn that off real quick. Cool. Well, appreciate it, guys. See y'all. Have a wonderful night.